Hello, teachers, and this is the video for my project. As you can see, my name is Danilo Salazar. I'm the author of this project, and licensed in English from the Cow Medellin, and finishes my semester here. Okay, the title that I used for this project was Use of ICT to improve the speaking skills in students of grade 8 from the institution Josefina Munoz in the city of Rio Negro, Antioquia. So let's continue with what we need to say about this project. The first thing I want to say is I want to thank the teachers, the corporation that give me the opportunity to do this project, the teacher from the school that I went to do my practice to, that gave me the time to do it too, and help me out and correct me, sometimes on what I was doing. For the introduction of this project, Josefina Munoz is an institution in Rio Negro. It's a big institution. It's about 1,400 students, but I took a piece of those students, grade A2. And when I went to the institution, I saw a problem there. When I started working with them, I saw a problem that was the pronunciation of English, of many words, when they were learning English with the teacher. So the other thing that I saw was that it was not the ICT used in this school. Not too many times they were using ICT. They were using the tools that, some of them are available, the other ones are not, but they were not using this. So this got me thinking, what can I do to help this institution improve the English level in the student, especially pronunciation. In this picture, you can see the students that I used to work with, and the teacher on the back of the picture, on the front of the picture. The other thing that I thought about it, how can I help? How can I help? Over here, in this reading that I have over here, say one of the most important tools for teaching English as a second language in a globalized world is ICT. Nowadays, ICT tools and approaches are being used widely due to the convenience, omnipresence, effectiveness, and being economic. So it's very important to use ICT in our classrooms to improve the pronunciation and the learning in our students. In this project, we're going to see how we develop the project and what results this project give us at the end of it. Let's go talk about the objectives. I got here the general objective that says to identify the factors that affect the learning of speaking English as a second language, and that was one of the questions that I asked myself: why the students are affected by the learning process? What's going on there? What's happening? What's the matter there? So that was one of to identify the factor. What was the main factor? And I saw that the main factor there was the ICT, was the use of the computer or the cellular or the video or the DVD, etc., etc. So I propose over here, said in order to propose strategies using ICT to improve the English language learning, and that's what I did. I proposed that. The specific objective was to investigate the current situation of the ICT and to determine the current English teaching situation. What she was doing that the students didn't pronunciate well when they were talking in English. And the last thing was to examine the aspects of the teaching, how she was giving the class. So it was, and how they were taking the class, being receptive to the class. That's what I was trying to do. That's what I was trying to gain, or to my goal. My goal was to improve the English pronunciation. Okay, the next one is this one right here. That is the frame bueno, the framework. Over here we see two students, two of them used to be on the classes. Rosario says this, and this is very important. The information and communication technology, a set of technology that allow the acquisition, production, storage, processing, communication, recording, and presentation of information in the form of voice, image, and data containing acoustic signals, optical, or electromagnetic nature. ICTs include electronics as the primary technology that support the development of telecommunication, information, and technology. And I investigate this about how ICT can be used in the classroom. And when I investigate this, I was amazed to find out that a lot of schools around the world use ICT. Why in this school, especially in this school, they don't use it? Why the government doesn't give them the tools to do it? So this Marco Conceptual talks about that, talks about using that technology. I had another input over here about this. I'm gonna go back to this frame because it's important to know that others investigators talks about the ICT in the classroom. The time is short. I cannot talk too much, but let's go continue with the next one. The next one is the methodology. What methodology was used in this project? In recent years, the methodology was changed and has been put forefront in education. It has led the traditional to incorporate the modern. We don't use the traditional no more. We don't write. We don't send homework home. It's different now. The research drive for this project was based in quantity, not in quality, so not in quantity. Why in quantity? Because I use collection of data, techniques like the questionnaire, the survey, the interviews, okay, and the quality observation that I use. Like I said before, the population was or is 1,450 students. The classroom that I used was 40 students divided between 26 females and 14 males, the age between 13 and 15 years old. And the instrument that I used was the observation, the survey, and the interview. In the observation, I was in a corner watching the teacher teaching the class. So I can see what was wrong, why the student didn't pronounce good the English idiom. The second thing that I do is a survey. I survey the students if they like it or not English, if they like more hours on the classroom. So many other questions that you're gonna see on the paper. So many other questions. They give me a nice, good results. And I do interviews too. I interview the students. I sit with them and I talk to them and I ask them about if they like the teacher, if they like the school, if they like learning English, why they like learning English, why they think pronunciation is good, why they have to pronunciate well, why they use ICT in this classroom, if they like to use the ICT in this classroom. Of course, they answer yes, they say yes. What was the result? The first result that I obtained from these surveys leave us with the learning and to solve other problems that was presented when I finished this. The implementation of technology in this classroom is necessary to implement technology in the classroom. It's very important that we use ICT in the classroom. Why we have to use ICT in the classroom? The other thing was the result was to improve the English language in the area of speaking, and they did improve. They did improve. The other one that I got over here too, is a result that I took from these surveys and everything. The students remove the fear of speaking in public. They start joking around when they do the conversation, and so they like to do that. They interact with the computer too. We talk to other person in the other line of the computer. So remove the fear. The other thing was the great benefits that each of them and the teacher took for them. And the last one that I had was they learn. They use the different platforms like Duolingo and other platforms that you can find in internet. Okay, and for the last, the conclusion that I have, it was concluded that there is evidence of the incorporation of ICT in the classroom, Josefina Muñoz. Now they use more the ICT in the classroom. They take the kids to the video room and they show them videos, music, song, etc. At the house, the person used the computer. They used the television and the DVD. It was a great technology to introduce to. And the other conclusion that I have here, there is a need for a better training. The teachers need to be trained. I trained the teacher in how to do this, in how to use the platforms, and how to open a computer and turn on the computer and get into Google and everything like that. And the recommendation that I have over here, it can be shown that there is some level of integration. They integrate each other, and that's good too. The other thing that they improve in the technical, the school improve the technical equipment. They promise to buy other projector speakers, cables and everything, and take license too. So the last thing that I have here, it was that they consider the application of other technologies to use. Other technologies to use with the ICT on the classroom. I'll leave you here the biography that I have. And thank you very much for this time.